Brian, hey, yeah, I need 30 three-quarter dubs of Nick's interview. Thank you. Mom, what are you doing here?
You're getting married.
Yes, Mom, can I call you about that later? I'm right in the middle of it.
You don't return my phone call, so I came in person.
Mom, I'm working.
Gilly, don't be difficult. You haven't given me any time to plan a proper wedding.
Mom,
You can take a few minutes. I brought swatches.
why do I suddenly feel like I'm 12 years old? Can you get this to road for me, please? Thank
Would you stop running away from me?
Mom, it's a job. That's what they pay me to do.
How many at the reception?
I don't know.
20, 200. Gilly, I'm doing this for you.
You don't have to do anything.
Fine. Just cut us out of the happiest day of your life after all we've done.
Hi, Mrs. Glenn. How are you?
Yeah, hi, Huntington.
Happy sister. You know, I feel like I am the happiest man on the planet.
So disturbing, this Ross Marler business.
Yes.
As I've always said, even a hint of impropriety can wreck people's lives and careers. You should listen to me more, Judy.
Mother, he just wanted to impress you.
How? By humiliating us in public?
I'm not trying to excuse what he did. It's just he was so nervous about not having seen you in so many years. He just wanted you to think he's doing well.
Well, he failed at that too, didn't he?
Why didn't you just come to us sooner? You didn't have to buy us an expensive gift if you couldn't afford it.
Yeah, well, showing up empty-handed might have been good enough for you, Dad, but,
Don't you dare try to
Mother.
this on me. He always has an excuse. There's always somebody
Mother,
else's fault.
try to understand.
forget it, Gilly. You know, I knew I never should have come home.
No, don't say that,
No, I
David.
should have left right after your wedding.
To think. Gillian was married in this very room, one of the happiest days of my life. And what do? You get arrested in the very same room.
No.
No, it's okay, Gilly. You know, jail's a lot easier than staying here, especially with her.
It's his own fault, Gilly.
Where are you going?
To the police station. Hamp.
Excuse me.
How could he do this to us?
What's wrong, Mom?
What's wrong? You don't happen to think it's just a little bit insensitive of David to bring into our home a girl who just happens to be the daughter of your estranged husband?
Dinner will be ready in just a minute. We're having leg of lamb because it's always been Gilly's favorite.
Yeah, Mom's been spoiling me rotten since I've been home.
No, we've been going through a very difficult time. I'd like to think we'd all be sensitive to the fact that the breakup of a marriage is no small thing. You feel deserted and
Look,
alone.
do I have time to show Kat my garden? I hear you like roses. Well, I've got some I'm pretty proud of. Come on. We'll be right back.
What the hell is going on?
David, if you are as blind as you pretend to be, I feel sorry for this little girl.
This little girl, you mean Kat? She has a name.
That's right, Speaks. That's her name. You had to bring Hampton's daughter here tonight with all your sister is going through.
Mother, I told you. It's fine with me. I like Kat. David knows that.
You always defend him. Every hurtful, thoughtless thing David didn't realize. David didn't know.
Why don't you stop talking about me like I'm in the next room?
It just seems to me that tonight of all nights you could have avoided showing up with a reminder of your sister's unhappiness.
Kat is not some casual reminder that I just showed up with for the hell of it, Mom. She happens to be someone who is very, very important in my life, and Gilly knows that.
Of course I do.
All right, if you both are determined to gang up against me.
It wouldn't have mattered who I'd brought with me tonight, Mom. You would have found some way to be unhappy with me.
That is a ridiculous exaggeration.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous, and it's a joke. Kat is exactly the type of girl you always wanted me to go out with. She's smart. She's polite. She went to private school, for crying out loud. On your wish list, that's right up there with world peace, isn't it?
Private school doesn't change who our father is.
Mother, for heaven's sakes, come on.
Gilly, the man left you high and dry with no warning.
Maybe she still loves him, Mom. Maybe they might be able to work things out.
After what he's done? I hope not.
Oh, I see. You'd rather your daughter be miserable than go back to a marriage and disgrace the family that wasn't 100% perfect.
All right, David. I can talk for myself, okay?
Gilly, you got to get out of here. Don't you see that? Another couple of weeks with Mom, and you're going to be as negative and bitter as she is.
I will not have you talking to me like that in this
Okay,
house.
that's great, Kat. Come on, let's go. We're out of here.
David, calm down. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just lost my appetite, okay?
Well, listen, David, this is supposed to be a very nice evening, and we just can't leave like
Okay, well, then you stay. Go ahead. Live it up.
What I'd hoped for was a nice, quiet dinner.
I know, Mother.
Can you tell me what happened?
The same thing that always happens whenever you and David get together.
Just for once, I wish you'd take my side in an argument.
Mother, I'm not taking anybody's side. I just think that you were a little too hard on David.
Sometimes I think I've been too easy. Look at all the trouble he's gotten into. Makes me wonder what I did wrong.
Mother, neither one of you did anything wrong, okay?
Then I look at you and I know I must have done something right.
Why is it you always make me out to be such a perfect child?
Because you are. Of course, there was that one misunderstanding, but it wasn't your fault.
Mother, I'm not perfect, okay? I never have been. And David is not the bad seed you keep making him out to be.
Look at all the trouble he's gotten his family in.
No, Mom. Mother, why don't you look at what he's doing now, okay? He's got 2 jobs. He's paying his own way.
He was on probation for stealing a credit card.
Just can't let it go, can you?
David hasn't changed. He didn't have to bring that girl here for dinner.
Mother, that girl's name is Kat.
He only did it because he knew it would cause trouble. She's Hamp's daughter. Where is his sense of loyalty?
Don't ever accuse David of being disloyal to me. You have no idea what he's got...
Gilly, you've always had a soft spot for people who weren't quite deserving of it. I think that's why you married Hampton in the first place.
Mother, I married Hampton because I love him.
He threw you out of the house and now you're defending him.
There's no talking to you. I'm just sorry.
Gilly, I don't want to see you get hurt.
Is something wrong, Mother?
No, of course not. This is an unexpected visit. Pleasure. Your ears should have been ringing the way Roger was going on and on about the marvelous job you're doing at the station. He says she has quite a future in the industry. But then I always knew Jelly's talents would be recognized if she gave herself half a chance. How is food and beverage, Hamp?
Fine, thanks, Mrs. Grant.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I suppose there'll always be people who want to eat and drink.
Yeah, some people just can't help themselves, you know.
Darling, did a Mr. Bradbury from the club call while I was out?
No, Mother, he didn't.
Then I'll have to call him. We have to set a date for the luncheon we're giving for the scholarship recipients.
You see, that's just what I was talking about, even those scholarship recipients. Just chomp, chomp, chomp when nobody's looking.
I had the pleasure of seeing your daughter last night when my son brought her over unexpectedly. She is adorable.
Well, I think so.
It's going to be quite a heartbreaker.
I hope not.
Yeah, Mom, Hamp and I need to get going. We're not going to be late.
Late? What?
Well,
where are you going?
I'll see you later, Mom.
Gillian, may we ask what you're doing?
What I tried and failed to do 6 years ago, Mother. I am telling the police what really happened that August.
Well, thanks to the news, everybody knows what happened then.
No, Mother. Everybody thinks that David killed Miles Davenport.
Gillian, it is insanity to think that you can change things for David at this late date. It was insanity then.
Excuse me. We're recording a statement here. Could we finish, please?
My daughter is making a misguided attempt to help her brother, which is a fatal pattern for her. And she should not be allowed to waste your time.
So, what's going on here?
Tell you what's going on here. I am telling the truth for my brother who went to jail
Gilly.
for me. I shot Davenport, Mother, not David. I shot him and he covered for me.
That's not true. She's lying. Can't you say she's lying?
Mother, it was my decision to come forward with this, and I am going to go through with it whether you call me a liar or not. Mallet, please turn on the recorder.
No, I will not have you sacrificing yourself for nothing.
For nothing, Mother? Your son is nothing?
That's not what she meant.
Dr. Grant, why don't I take you and your wife into the office over here?
I am not going anywhere until my daughter comes to her senses.
Someone should mention, and perhaps you've seen it in your records somewhere. This is not the first time that my daughter has attempted to clear her brother's name.
No, I have not seen it in the records. Gilly, is that true?
The police didn't believe her then, and they had the evidence before them. And if you'd done your research, neither would you.
AC, I can explain. The officer in charge of this case...
obvious that my son's latest act of violence is what has brought this on?
Look, all I know is this is no way to conduct a questioning. What I would like is one calm and reasonable person in Ryan's office to give me a calm and reasonable account of this previous attempt to confess.
AC, please do not discount everything I have said to you just because of them. Charles,
let's go.
Why don't you go with them?
All right.
You want me to come to my senses. Is that what you said, Mom? Well, I have. See, but that's what you don't understand. My senses have been buried underneath guilt for so long, I've almost forgotten that I had them. And I almost started to believe that David was as hopeless as you always said he is.
Don't give me that fiction that I don't know the real David.
But you don't, Mother, and you never have.
From the time he was 4 years old, he would openly defy your father and me. He was willful, stubborn, disobedient. Every teacher he ever had sent a note home at report card time. Disruptive, insubordinate. If they were nice about it, they said he clowned around. But it all amounted to the same thing. David didn't want to apply himself. He didn't want to pay attention. He didn't want to work. He didn't want to play by the rules that apply to other children. So he cut school. He shoplifted. He bought apple wine and got drunk at the ripe old age of 13 and got picked up. Am I inventing this? Am I making it up?
Kids do not get handcuffed and sent away for cutting school or for getting drunk on apple wine, Mother. That's just a clumsy part of growing up for some people.
You didn't seem to have to go through them.
No, because I was perfect. I won the awards. I graduated magna cum laude. But that degree, that college degree does not belong to me, Mother. It belongs to David. Because David was the one who made it possible for me to finish school instead of serving 25 years to life.
Crazy!
No, Mother. You stop it. I'm sorry, but it's true.
Oh, Gilly, you always pity him. You always leap to his defense. He's not worth it.
No. You just want to believe that he is not worth it so you don't have to feel like a monster. I don't know why, and I don't know how, but I saw it when you brought him home from the hospital. If you cannot love your son, an innocent baby, when he is wrapped in a blanket, I don't know what the hell he can expect to get from you when he grew up. Oh. Is that the police, Mother? Are you talking to the police?
Don't interfere. Yes, I'm sure. I've seen him and I
Don't do this, Mother! Stop it!
What's going on?
Run!
Got it all wrong. Mom's gonna give me the car.
David, no! She was calling the police. She set you up.
You called the cops on me?
David, come on. You've got to go. Where is Kat? Is she all right? Yeah. Look, don't you go far, okay? I will make it right. Where are you going, Mother?
To call the police from the upstairs extension. If they hurry, they might still catch you.
No, what is wrong with you? Are you crazy? He trusted you, Mother. Do you hate him that much?
I don't hate him. He is my son. And I am scared to death for him. Think, Gilly. Really think how this could end. David killed a man. He is desperate. The police think he's dangerous. They could say he made a sudden move, that they thought he had a gun, that he was resisting arrest. I have run the scenarios over and over in my head, and in each one he ends up hurt or worse.
It never occurred to me to tell you that David had been arrested.
How can you say that? Your father and I were very worried, and now we are relieved that David's in custody and has not been hurt.
Oh, at least not physically.
The best part of all is that you have finally been cleared of killing that dreadful man.
Well, I just hope this makes things easier between you and Hamp.
Why in the world would you want to go back with him, Charles? How much could that man have loved you if he thought you could kill somebody?
Mother, I picked up that gun. I fired twice.
But you are not guilty of murder.
No.
Just a bad aim.
The point is, Gilly, you can finally get on with your life. Roger Thorpe was kind enough to give you your job back. And perhaps now you'll stop feeling guilty about your brother.
Mother, did you happen to read that part in the paper? The part that said that David didn't shoot Davenport either?
If it's true. But he did confess.
Mother, he was 15 years old, trying to save me. Now, I should have known better.
I just wish he would have come to us. I mean, talked to us.
Well, maybe he didn't think you'd give him a chance. I mean, after all, he did come to you this time, Mother, right? Begged you to help him, but you called the police instead.
I did not want him to get hurt. He should have never run away.
Oh, you still don't understand. He felt he had to run.
He would have had a fair trial.
He has never had a fair trial a day in his life. Not from the system and certainly not from you.
You make him sound so blameless. Look what's happened to you and me. You can't imagine how the neighbors talk. And those police cars constantly circling our neighborhood.
So losing face. Losing face is the be-all and end-all with you, right? I mean, this is what this is all about. You don't care about David. This is all about you.
That is not true. I am thinking about your father, too. How the nurses and orderlies of the hospital are whispering in the corridors. How he's losing patience. Tell her, Charles. Tell her.
Shut up, Vivian.
What did you say?
I said shut your venomous mouth. The only thing I've got to say is going to be at the police station. Tell my son how sorry I am.
Charles? Thank you so much for taking David's case.
Well, I was happy to. Especially since I believe your son is innocent.
Well, I suppose that helps when you are defending someone who's accused of murder.
Mother, we're going to the courthouse now. Mother, are you going to go or not?
You go ahead.
It's David's suit upstairs.
Suit?
The one he bought especially to impress you when he came back to Springfield.
In the guest room closet.
Fine. Mother, it's still not too late for you and David. See, this is a turning point in his life. He can be vindicated today or he can go back to jail to await trial. Do you really want him to go through all of that without knowing that he has a mother who cares one way or another? Mama, David could go to jail for a long, long time. You may not be alive to see him as a free man again.
We hope it doesn't come to that, Gilly.
Well, I am sure David will appreciate that sentiment while he's awaiting the judge's decision.
We were expecting Gilly earlier, but I felt I had to press your suit one more time.
She did it herself.
Your mother wants to do anything she can to see you free again.
Thank you very much, Mother.
A suit with a careless pleat always makes a poor impression. I admit when I first saw it, I didn't like it, but it looks so well on you. It's very handsome and understated. No. I mean, you are very handsome and understated. The ignorance was all mine, you see. Gilly's always right about everything. I don't know why it took me so long to see she's right about this, too. Oh, David. Sometimes I am so unequal to say what I mean. Gilly accused me of being unfeeling. That's not entirely accurate. I have felt a great many things, some of which I've said to you, to my regret. But what I have never told you is how desperately I have wanted to do what was right for you. It's just that I have not been good at understanding what that is. Even when you were a very little boy.
Well, I mean, getting rid of those careless pleats is important.
You have been so brave through this. Please just know that whatever happens out there in that courtroom, I want things to be different between us.
Yeah. Ross, it's time. Thank you.
Good luck, son.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, David, I love you. You two look so wonderful together.
Oh, well, thank your daughter. She's the one that makes me look good.
And you always know the right thing to say, don't you, Sid?
Well, maybe he's just right.
I'm sure that's one of the reasons why you're such a good lawyer. I was just urging my son not to give up his aspirations to study law.
You did, Mother. I guess that's why he ran out of here so fast. Now, those are your aspirations, not David's.
Don't tell me two of you are going at it again.
Oh, Gilly just acts like it's a crime for a mother to want the best for her children.
Well, you know, law is a wonderful profession, but...
I think what my son needs is a little pep talk from someone like you.
Sid is not going to talk David into doing anything that David doesn't want to do.
David doesn't know what he wants.
Vivian, let's go talk to the mayor now.
We all know what you want, Mom. You want to be able to come to this country club and brag about your son the doctor or your son the lawyer.
And what is wrong with a mother wanting the best for her children?
Nothing. But that's just the point. Accept David for what he is. I mean, didn't you look at the news? David is a hero. He is responsible for helping catch the people that hurt Dylan Lewis. If David hadn't been there, Ed Bauer wouldn't have been cleared of the charges, and he wouldn't be here to celebrate tonight.
Now, Sid, I want you to tell Charles and me all about your latest case.
Oh, I wish I could, Mrs. Grant, but you see...
Oh, please call me Vivian.
Vivian.
Sid has an important client that wants to remain anonymous.
Oh, I see, of course. He must be very important.
Oh, yeah, I'd say he's pretty up there.
I'm very impressed. Aren't you, Charles?
Absolutely.
I'd always wanted my own son to finish law school, but he quit before he got started.
Mother.
Well, you know, it's true. Not that anything he does should surprise me. For all we know, he could be lying dead in a gutter somewhere.
Vivian, not now.
No, now listen, I talked to Dylan Lewis this morning, and he said David called, and he's all right. I don't know why you're so hard on him.
Oh, Gilly. You know his history as well as I do.
Yeah, but that includes some pretty wonderful things that he's done.
Like breaking that Gabriella girl out of jail. I recall when I met her at Ed's engagement party. I thought she looked like trouble. Why can't David have decent friends like you do, Gilly?
I am sure that David had a very good reason for doing what he did.
You defend him no matter what.
Someone in this family has to.
All right, that's enough. Both of you.
Did you see that woman? She was staring at us.
Vivian, no one's staring.
Charles, I said she was staring at us.
Well, why would you bother dressing so beautifully if you didn't want people to look at you?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. She's not looking at my clothes and my jewelry. She must have overheard us discussing David. Mother, she's looking at the family of that missing fugitive.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Grant. I would hardly classify David as a fugitive.
Well, that's what the article in the journal implied. Charles, I want to go now.
Waiter, check, please.
Thank you, Sid, for not judging the rest of our family by David's actions. I know what you're thinking, but I was just trying to...
Shut up.
Gilly.
I don't want to hear it, Mom. I don't want to hear any speeches about how one should respect one's parents. I can barely even stand to see you right now.
You always jump to the worst conclusions about me.
That's because they're usually true. What were you thinking, Mom? What were you thinking? What good could you possibly expect could come of this? You were tampering with your son's life. I can't find any justification for this, none. And Gabriella, I mean, forget that she was David's wife. Here was a young girl who never did anything to you. All she tried to do was rise up to your impossible standards. I know I should feel sorry for you right now. But I can't. Not this time, Mother.
Someday, David will understand. And you will, too. I know you will. I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic was terrible.
Well, that's all right, Mom. I'm just glad you could make it.
Well, I'm delighted to have breakfast with my daughter anytime. But it would have to be here in the dining room of Griffin Williams Hotel.
Actually, yes. That's why I chose this location. You and I need to talk about Griff once and for all.
Griff, is it?
Okay, Mr. Williams, if you prefer that. I talked to Dad last night about your attitude towards him.
You did what? That was uncalled for, Gilly.
Well, Mom, I didn't know what else to do. Don't worry. Dad didn't have a clue about why you've been so cold and hostile to Griffin.
Well, that's an exaggeration. It's none of those things.
Mother, you were rude, to say the least. You know, and Dad excused you, just as always. He said the only reason you keep interfering in our lives is because you have our best interests at heart.
At least Charles understands me. I don't know what I'd do without your father.
Mom, I want to talk about Griffin Williams.
Darling, as I told you, I know people who know him intimately, and they don't like him very much.
I want to know how you know him. What is it about him that bugs you so much?
Well, he's charismatic. He's a user, a manipulator. I told you about that friend I had when we were all doing voter registration work.
Yes, the woman who fell for him really hard.
He left her high and dry. Naturally, neither your father nor I wants to see you interested in a man like that, much less involved.
First of all, I never said I was interested in Griffin Williams. And second of all, if I were involved with him or anybody else, I think that's my business. I've been married and divorced, Mother. I am a grown woman. I thought you would understand that by now.
But your father...
No, Mom, don't drag Dad into this, okay? He obviously likes and respects Griffin very, very much. Why else would he recommend him for a chair in politics at the university? The silent treatment's not gonna work, Mother.
What do you expect me to say? You seem to have all the answers.
Pouting's not gonna help either. Just talk to me, okay?
Julia, I have nothing to say.
Mom, you're my mother. I think I deserve a straight answer. Just tell me about your relationship with Griffin Williams.
Relationship is such a curious word.
Well, you obviously had some kind of relationship with him. Why else would he refer to you as Kucha? I mean, was that his pet name for you? I just want to know what happened back then.
Good morning, ladies.
Griffin, please join us.
Oh, I hate to intrude.
Oh, please. Can I offer you a cup of coffee? I think I can squeeze one more out of that
I'll
one.
order more for all of us.
I've had my quota, thank you.
Quota? That's one of my least favorite terms.
So, Griffin, did you make your decision? Are you going to stay and teach at the university?
I am. I've decided to accept your father's offer.
That's wonderful. It really is. Isn't it, Mother? Oh, that's the station I need to call in. You know what? I am going to make sure your decision is on the mid-morning news.
Oh, I hardly think that my appointment's that newsworthy.
You're way too modest, Griffin.
Now, Vivian, before you get started, I did not take this appointment to threaten you in any way.
Years ago, when I wanted something more from you, when I needed you, you walked away. And now when I ask only to be left alone, you decide to stay.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, Vivian. It was never my intention to hurt you. Then or now. Good morning.
Mother, what did you say to him? Why did he leave?
Let's order. Where's the waitress?
Tell me about Kucha, Mom.
It was just a name he called me.
And did he have pet names for everybody else?
My relationship with Griffin was a very long time ago. It's rather old and boring.
No, Mom, not this time. I'm not going to let you blow me off. I want to know what happened.
Gilly, nothing happened.
I don't believe that.
And I don't care what you believe.
Okay, fine. You won't tell me? Maybe you will.
Gilly, no.
I'm gonna get the truth, Mom.
Now, one way or the other.
We had an affair. Years ago, when your father and I were first married, we had an affair. Are you happy now? Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. That's all we need.
So you were the woman who had the affair with Griffin Williams. The woman you said was hurt so badly.
Yes. And I'm not proud of it, Gilly.
Does Dad know?
Of course not. Do you think he'd offer a fellowship to a man who slept with his wife?
Guess that would be a stretch even for my ever-patient father.
Keep your voice down, please.
All right. Tell me what happened, Mom.
Gilly, it was so long ago. Your father was in a second-year residency, and I was working round the clock doing voter registration.
Obviously not quite round the clock.
Gilly, don't.
I'm sorry, Mother. Go on.
He was in charge of the local effort. He was strong, smart, charismatic. All the things he still is.
And you fell for him.
At first, I resisted. I was married. And I cared deeply for your father. But he was unlike any man I had ever met. Forceful, dynamic. And like so many others, I fell under his spell. Unfortunately, I fell a little harder than most and ended up in his bed. I realized almost immediately I'd made a terrible mistake.
Because of Dad?
Yes, of course. And Griffin, too. He never gave himself to anyone for long. Only the cause captured his soul. Never another person, never a woman. He never really cared for me. When I realized what I'd done, how foolish I'd been, I ran home to your father as fast as I could, and I never opened my mouth about it. And after a while, after you were born, his memory began to fade away.
Did you love Griffin, Mother?
It's foolish to love an icon. And I am not a foolish woman. Gilly, listen to me. I'm not saying that he's a bad person. It's just that he's dangerous, very dangerous. I am speaking to you from experience. Stay away from him. Please, darling.
Hello, Mother.
Oh, Gilly.
Griffin, I have those papers together.
What's going on here?
Mother, I know how you two feel about each other, but I am going to work for Griffin anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it. I know you still disapprove of Griffin. That's fine. That's your business. It has nothing to do with me.
It most certainly does.
Mom, I want this job, and I'm going to do it well. I'm going to show you, Griffin, and everybody else that I can make a difference. Griffin, can we go someplace and discuss those papers?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll meet you at the elevator in a couple of minutes.
Bye, Mom.
You promised.
Well, I tried to unhire her, but she's too much like you. She wouldn't listen. Look, Vivian, everything's gonna be all right for everybody. I'll get back to you with the details.
Dr. Sedgwick to obstetrics. Dr. Sedgwick to obstetrics.
Mrs. Grant, I have wonderful news. The rabbit expired here about 2 months along.
Oh, no, it can't be.
Comes as a surprise, does it?
Please, no.
You've got time to get used to it.
I can't be. I just can't be. I 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 just...
Would someone please tell me what's going on here?
We'll talk about it later, Gilly.
No, Mother, I want to know about it now.
It's Griffin. He came on to your mother.
Came on to her? You made a pass at her. No, I don't believe that.
I didn't want you to know. I didn't want your father to know, but it's true, Gilly.
I hate to see a friendship end this way, Griffin. But I can't forgive this. I'm doing surgery, sweetheart. I'll talk to you when I get home.
Griffin, you told me in your room that day that you were involved with a woman from out of town.
I did.
Well, then what is this all about? Griffin, why would you make a pass at my mother? I don't get it.
Because it's a lie. It's not true.
Well, what do you...
She lied.
But my
I didn't
mother...
make a pass at your mother. I didn't do anything to your mother.
What are you saying? That she made this up? That she deliberately hurt my father and you let her? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
It's very complicated, Gilly.
No, Griffin, it's not. It's about what happened between the two of you all those years ago. My mother still has it in for you, doesn't she? And she just hates you so much
Gilly,
that she'll do anything to make you look bad.
You don't understand what's going on here, Gilly.
I understand perfectly, Griffin. My mother is a selfish, self-centered woman who just has to have her way.
Gilly, I was hoping you'd still be here.
You are a liar, and Daddy is gonna know about it because I'm gonna tell him.
You must listen to me.
That is the last thing I have to do, Mother. The first thing I'm going to do is tell Daddy the truth about you.
Your mother had a reason for doing what she did. Just give me some time alone with her. Just go back to the office and we'll talk later, Gilly.
Griffin, I want to know what's going on.
Please, just don't push this. I don't want to come between you and your mother.
Well, it's a little late for that.
You're beautiful.
Mother! Griffin, how could you do this?
You don't bust into my room.
Well, I had to stop you before.
Before what?
Before what? We make love?
Baby, you can't do this.
Mother, we are consenting adults. We can do whatever we want.
But he's not the man you think he is. He's having an affair with me.
I know. And I don't care.
You don't care that I've made love to Griffin time and time again in this very room, in that very bed.
No, I don't.
Gilly, you can't do this.
That's enough, Vivian. Get out.
You can't be with her. It's unthinkable.
You don't come in my room and tell me what I can and can't. You just get out of here.
We can be together anytime and anyhow we want to be, Mother. Why don't you just go home to Daddy and leave us alone?
If you ever
I am tired of you and your lies and if you see that you don't get out of here, the bodyguards come and take you out of here.
You don't understand.
Understand
Mother,
what?
please stop it.
You have to know the truth.
You had your chance with Griffin and you blew it. Now, whatever he does with me is none of your business.
It is very much my business. Gilly, he's your father.
You're a damned liar.
Gilly, stop it.
That man is not my father.
Why would I say it if it weren't true?
All the despicable things that you have done to try and keep me away from Griffin Williams. This is it. This is the worst, Mother. The absolute worst.
Gilly, you're not listening to me. Gilly, please.
Said get out, Mother.
I wish with all my heart it wasn't true. Why couldn't you just leave him alone? Then tonight I'd come here and find you undressed in his room. Dear God, help me. I swear
Nice performance, Mother, but it's still a lie. A hideous, horrible lie.
I am so sorry you had to find out this way. But it's the truth, and you've got to face that.
Oh, I don't believe this.
He is your father, Gilly. I wouldn't be here if he weren't.
We both know why you're here, Vivian. You wanted me, I said no. Now you've decided to punish me. This is some sick, perverted way of getting back at me.
She is your daughter.
Are you that jealous, Mother? You lost him, okay? So leave us alone.
I can't do that. It would be the worst mistake of my life.
Oh, please. You just can't stomach the idea that I could be with a man that you slept with just a few weeks ago. That's it, isn't it?
Please stop it.
I didn't start it.
You have no right to speak to me that way.
You are not entitled to preach to me about right and wrong, Mother. And you have preached. And I sat and listened about what job I was supposed to take, or which man I was supposed to like. And when you started in on Griffin, Daddy said, Gilly, just remember, she loves you.
I do. More than you could possibly know.
And this is the way you show me. By trying to destroy my life, my happiness.
I'm trying to save it.
Bull!
Gilly, listen to me!
I'm not going to listen to you, Mother, because I don't respect a word you say.
I'm sorry.
I guess that's the biggest joke of it all, isn't it? In spite of everything, I respected you, Mother. No matter how much we fought, or how many times you interfered, I loved you and respected you. Because I thought that you held yourself to the highest standards of anyone that I knew. What happened to your high moral code of conduct, Mother? You have to climb up to get into the gutter.
I know you're in a lot of pain, and I know it's because of me. But that doesn't change the facts.
All right, Vivian, this isn't gonna work now. Just come on.
She's your child.
You embarrassed yourself
enough, Mother. Go back with me. Go back to Alabama. To the last night we made love. Don't you remember? It was so hot, and we couldn't sleep. So we took a cold shower. Then we got back into bed. We were so happy. Because of our success, we didn't even think about making... We didn't even think about using protection. But I didn't care because I loved you so much. And I told you I loved you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And you turned me down. You said there was no place in my life for you. How could I tell you about our daughter?
This doesn't mean anything, Vivian. Proves nothing.
Look at her eyes. They're yours. Her determination, it's yours. She leaps headfirst into causes, will knock down walls for what she believes in.
Well, so do you.
But I learned it from you.
Of this, all of this.
What are you doing, Gilly?
I'm calling Dad.
No, don't. No.
Listen, if you can take back your lie, or you can tell Daddy everything that you've told us.
Gilly, this is not the way to do this.
It is the only way to make her stop, Griffin.
Gilly, you're very upset. Now, you bring your father in this, it's not going to help anybody.
Daddy has been in the dark too long, as far as I know.
It's going to hurt him very badly, Gilly. I don't think you want to do that.
Dad. I am sorry to disturb you, but it's an emergency. Can you come to Griffin Williams' room? Mom and I are here, and we need you. What is keeping Daddy so long?
Please call your father and tell him you made a mistake.
I didn't make a mistake, Mother. But if you want to admit to yours, then I'll be glad to make up some kind of excuse when Daddy gets here.
Don't make me do this. It's not fair to Charles.
Your mother's right, Gilly. Your father doesn't deserve this kind of treatment.
Daddy, I'm so glad you could come.
Are you all right, Gilly?
No, not really.
Vivian, what are you doing here?
Go ahead, Mom. Tell him.
Gilly said it was an emergency. Now, honey, what's wrong?
I have something very difficult to tell you, Charles.
No, she doesn't. Griffin's right, Mother. It's only gonna make matters worse.
What matters? Will somebody please tell me what's going on?
Griffin and I had an affair. It didn't last very long, but I got pregnant with Gilly. Griffin is Gilly's father. I am so sorry, Charles. I didn't know how to tell you before. I loved you so much, I didn't want to hurt you.
Don't listen to her, Dad. She's lying. Gilly. She's lying to keep me away from Griffin. Daddy, don't listen to him. Tell him it's a lie,
Gilly.
Mother.
It's not a lie.
What do you mean it's not a lie? Of course it's a lie.
Gilly, I always knew that I was not your father.
It's not. That's impossible. You can't know because it's not true.
Sweetheart, I am so sorry. I never meant for you to find out this way.
No. Daddy, no. Oh, my God.
Gilly.
Stay away from me. How, Daddy? How did you find out?
After you were born, you came down with an infection. The doctors had to draw some blood. I looked at your chart, and I couldn't understand how they could get your blood type wrong. So I asked them to do it again.
Why? What could you see from my blood type?
Jill, your blood type is O. Your mother and I are both AB. It's genetically impossible for me to be your father.
Why didn't you say something?
Because I loved you. And I loved you. I loved you from the moment you were born, Jillian.
She cheated on you, Daddy.
Yeah?
She had another man's child.
Yep. She sure did. But it's just not that simple. There were things that I was just not ready to lose, especially you, Jillian. To this day, I look at you and all that other stuff just kind of, you know, just goes out the window. And then David came along, and I really, really felt that our marriage was starting to work again.
It was.
That's right. So I didn't say anything. But I have to take part of the blame for this. See, I was really ambitious back then, but I forgot that there was somebody at home who needed me.
I wish I had told you, Charles.
I wish I had told you too, Vivian, because then our daughter wouldn't be suffering like this.
Gilly.
No! She's my daughter in every way that counts. She is my daughter.
And there's no point in trying to make an excuse for it, because you can't find one.
Don't leave. Stay. Come on, talk this out. Don't leave.
I've been looking for you.
I don't think so, Mother.
Please?
I'll leave you two alone. Where'd you sleep last night, Mother? With Griffin? With my father?
Please give me a chance.
That's right, Mom. Don't answer the questions. Evade it. You always do.
There's nothing between me and Griffin anymore. You know that.
Oh, do I? I don't know what I believe anymore.
What I did was...
monstrous. That's what it was. Just plain evil.
Don't hate me. I beg you, I'm begging your forgiveness.
Don't, Mother. Don't waste your time, and don't waste mine.
I have no excuse.
That's right, you don't.
I never meant to hurt you or your Charles. I agree that withholding the information was monstrous.
Information? Is that what you call it?
Oh, dearly, I made a bad choice many years ago. I made an even worse choice when Griffin came to town.
A bad choice? Don't you think that that is maybe just a little bit understated? You had a passionate affair with Griffin, and you created me. Then you had another affair with him to pretend like I didn't exist.
It was a terrible mistake. But I am begging your forgiveness. I'll do anything. Just don't shut me out. We have to find a way to get past this.
No, I don't have to do anything. Not with you.
Please.
No. No. There is nothing more to be said. There is nothing more to be done. I lost my father last night. And I lost my mother as well. How could you?
Me? What in the world?
What were you thinking?
I can understand you trying to hurt me. But to use your own daughter, my daughter, and embarrass me into trying to make some kind of...
You think I'm the one who told the press about you and Griffin?
This has your dirty fingerprints all over it. You'll be sorry, Vivian. You'll be damn sorry.
You've got to believe me, Gilly.
Since when? You've lied to me my entire life.
I thought I was doing the right thing. I didn't want to hurt anybody. For months now, darling, all I've thought about is you.
The only thing that you thought about was your investment with Alan. You cheated on Daddy to get information out of Griffin.
It was never about the money. Please understand that. I have made mistakes, lots of them, but I would never do anything to intentionally hurt you or cause you pain. I love you too much for that.
The only person you love is yourself.
I have always loved you.
You don't lie to somebody you love.
I wanted the best for you. I gave you everything.
No, Mother, you wanted what was best for you. You wanted to forget that you cheated on the best man in the world. You wanted to forget that you had somebody else's child. You didn't love me. You couldn't.
No, baby.
I reminded you of Griffin, and you hated me for that. You can deny it for the rest of your days, but that is the way it was. And we have all had to pay a terrible price for it.
No!
I want you to understand something. I am not asking your advice about my decision to leave.
Yes, of course.
This is something that I need to do for myself.
But now and for so long.
I have thought long and hard about what I want to say to you. Please let me do it. You will always be my mother, no matter what you do. But you are not welcome in my life again until I say so.
You can't mean that.
I don't want to hear from you. Please don't call.
Gilly, please.
If you write me, I will return your letters unopened.
I know you're angry with me, but to shut me out so completely...
I have no desire to hold on to all the anger that I feel for you right now. I am going to try really hard to get past it. But in the meantime, I don't want you in my life. Understood?
Talk to her. Tell her she doesn't have to leave. She doesn't have to go because she's angry with me. Tell her together we can convince her. Why did you invite me here? To humiliate me?
I asked you here to say goodbye. Now that I have, I'd like for you to leave.
Cheers.